That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
We just saw like Christian, Justin, Quincy kind of start circling Ray a little bit. Words were exchanged. Things started getting heated as we went into the parking garage. You know, I feel like chests were being bumped.
That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to.
Katt Williams just dropped a bombshell claiming Diddy's sons plotted to jump Terrence Howard for exposing their father. Williams, never one to shy away from controversy, alleges that music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs once offered him $50 million for a single night, an offer he flatly rejected, citing his refusal to compromise his integrity. The comedian claims that the industry has been operating under a veil of manipulation and coercion for years, and that his refusal to sell out led to him being quietly iced out by powerful industry figures. But perhaps more shocking is his statement that Diddy's sons, particularly Justin and Christian Combs, plotted to confront actor Terrence Howard after Howard began speaking out about his own disturbing experiences involving Diddy. Williams positions these events as part of a broader system designed to silence dissenters and protect a deep-seated network of influence. According to him, this isn't about beef or fame. It's about a powerful group that's grown accustomed to operating unchecked, with intimidation and silence as its currency. Actor Terrence Howard, best known for his roles in films like Hustle and Flow and Iron Man, has come forward with unsettling allegations of his own. According to Howard, he was invited to meet with Diddy under the pretense of providing acting coaching. What initially seemed like a professional opportunity quickly turned into something deeply inappropriate, with Howard alleging that Diddy made explicit advances toward him. After turning those advances down, Howard says he experienced a swift and noticeable decline in his Hollywood opportunities, hinting that he was blackballed for refusing to play by what he describes as the unspoken rules of success in the industry. He frames this experience as part of a larger culture of coercion, where boundaries are often ignored and silence is expected. Howard says he was warned not to speak out, but after years of watching others go through the same cycle, he decided it was time to share his truth. He emphasizes that this isn't just about one uncomfortable night, it's about the normalization of predatory behavior within elite entertainment circles, and the cost of choosing integrity over access. What began as uncomfortable stories soon escalated into alleged threats of violence. Katt Williams claims that shortly after Terrence Howard began speaking publicly about his experience, Diddy's sons, particularly Justin and Christian Combs, allegedly plotted to physically confront Howard. According to Williams, this wasn't just a rumor whispered around industry circles. It was a serious plan to silence Howard through intimidation, if not worse. The comedian says the situation reminded him of similar patterns he's seen throughout his career, where those who speak out often face retaliation not through lawsuits or public denials, but through veiled threats and orchestrated pressure. Williams points to this alleged plot as evidence of a system where power isn't just protected by lawyers or PR firms, but by aggressive moves behind the scenes designed to keep critics quiet and reputations intact. While no physical altercation occurred, the very notion that such a plan could exist speaks to the growing concerns that Diddy and his inner circle are willing to go to extreme lengths to avoid scrutiny. One of the most concerning elements of this unfolding story lies in the legal accusations now facing Diddy's oldest son, Justin Combs. In a bombshell lawsuit filed by music producer Rodney "Lil Rod" Jones, Justin is accused of participating in a web of illegal activity, including solicitation, narcotics involvement, and allegedly playing a key role in managing the logistics of Diddy's infamous parties. What's more, Jones alleges that Justin once took the fall for a DUI that Diddy himself was responsible for, with rumors suggesting that high-level law enforcement contacts were used to orchestrate a cover-up. These claims paint a picture of a young man entangled in a machine far bigger than himself, one where personal accountability is routinely sacrificed to protect the family's brand. Adding further complexity, Justin's mother, fashion designer Misa Hilton, publicly criticized Diddy and implied that her son has been manipulated and endangered by the choices of his father. It raises questions not only about Justin's personal actions, but about the structures surrounding him. Systems allegedly designed to absorb blame and keep the patriarch's hands clean. Christian Combs, known to the public as King Combs, is also facing troubling allegations. A woman named Grace Omar Cake has come forward with claims that during a luxury yacht gathering attended by industry elites, Christian harassed her, attempted to assault her, and pressured her into consuming a shot that she later suspected had been spiked. Grace claims that Christian physically cornered her and left visible bruises on her arm, which she documented and submitted as part of an ongoing lawsuit. The emotional trauma, she says, continues to affect her, and she has made it clear that this was not a misunderstanding or exaggeration. While the incident did not receive major press coverage, it has quietly added fuel to a growing fire surrounding Diddy's sons and their alleged behavior. Grace's allegations, like others, raise serious concerns about how far this culture of unchecked privilege extends and whether those in power are being held to the same standards as everyone else when accusations of misconduct surface. For many observers, it's no longer a matter of isolated incidents. It's beginning to look like a pattern. The alleged incidents don't stop at individual altercations or lawsuits. They also include targeted confrontations meant to publicly intimidate dissenters. One such incident involved singer and entrepreneur Ray J, who had previously made comments criticizing Diddy. According to reports, Diddy's sons allegedly confronted Ray J at a high-profile Halloween party in Los Angeles. Eyewitnesses say Justin and Christian surrounded him in a parking lot, escalating the situation until it appeared a physical fight was imminent. That is, until singer Chris Brown, who happened to be in attendance, stepped in to de-escalate the situation. The story, though barely picked up by mainstream outlets, has been cited by insiders as yet another example of how far Diddy's circle will go to protect their public image and retaliate against perceived enemies. While no charges were filed and the incident faded from public view, the alleged behavior behind the scenes continues to draw attention. For many, it's no longer surprising. It's indicative of a larger strategy of intimidation being used to enforce silence and preserve reputation. The deeper narrative that's emerging from these stories isn't just about individual misconduct. It's about an entertainment industry that, according to voices like Katt Williams and Terrence Howard, rewards silence and punishes integrity. Both men have pointed out a disturbing trend that masculine, outspoken Black men who refuse to compromise their values are often pushed out or forced into professional obscurity. Whether it's refusing an offer, walking out of a shady party, or speaking the truth publicly, the consequences are often swift and brutal. They describe a culture where success isn't just earned, it's negotiated. And often those negotiations come at the cost of one's identity, privacy, or personal boundaries. These claims echo broader conversations happening across the entertainment industry right now, especially in light of past scandals involving powerful men and systemic abuse. What Katt and Terrence are saying isn't just personal, it's political. It challenges a long-standing code of silence that has protected abusers and silenced victims for decades. At the heart of all these claims is the growing sense that Sean Diddy Combs holds more power than the average celebrity. Multiple sources now allege that Diddy not only uses his influence within the music and film industry, but also has relationships within law enforcement and the legal system that allow him to avoid consequences. From orchestrating alleged cover-ups for DUI incidents to managing PR spin-around lawsuits, the narrative is forming that Diddy operates more like a corporate syndicate than a solo entertainer. Critics say his reach is part of why these stories haven't gained wider attention, because too many people have too much to lose by holding him accountable. And as the lawsuits stack up and former associates begin to speak out, the picture of Diddy as untouchable is beginning to crack. What remains to be seen is whether any of these claims will lead to real consequences, Or if, once again, money and connections will be enough to keep the spotlight away. At the heart of all these claims is the growing sense that Sean Diddy Combs holds more power than the average celebrity. Multiple sources now allege that Diddy not only uses his influence within the music and film industry, but also has relationships within law enforcement and the legal system that allow him to avoid consequences. From orchestrating alleged cover-ups for DUI incidents to managing PR spin-around lawsuits, the narrative is forming that Diddy operates more like a corporate syndicate than a solo entertainer. Critics say his reach is part of why these stories haven't gained wider attention, because too many people have too much to lose by holding him accountable. And as the lawsuits stack up and former associates begin to speak out, the picture of Diddy as untouchable is beginning to crack. What remains to be seen is whether any of these claims will lead to real consequences, or if, once again, money and connections will be enough to keep the spotlight away. As these revelations continue to surface, public reaction has been mixed, ranging from outrage and support for the alleged victims to disbelief and accusations of clout chasing. Social media has erupted with debate, and hashtags relating to Katt Williams and Diddy have trended more than once in recent weeks. While some argue that this is just the latest wave of celebrity drama, others believe it's part of a larger cultural reckoning, a moment where even the most powerful are being asked to answer for their actions. Skeptics remain, of course, especially given the long history of allegations in Hollywood that have ended without resolution. But there's a sense among many fans and followers that this time feels different. The accusations aren't just about rumors or shady business deals. They involve physical safety, alleged sexual misconduct, and systemic corruption. The stakes, in other words, are higher than ever, and the people involved are not anonymous. They're household names. The video that sparked this latest wave of revelations ends with a chilling thought that what we've seen so far may only be the beginning. Both Katt Williams and Terrence Howard imply that more people in the industry have similar stories to tell, and that once the dam breaks, the full extent of Hollywood's hidden culture could be exposed. They encourage viewers to keep watching, not just for updates, but to stay informed and question the sanitized narratives fed by mainstream outlets. The implication is clear, that behind the glamour and luxury of celebrity life, there may lie a system built on manipulation, fear, and silence. Whether the public chooses to believe these claims or not, one thing is certain: the image of untouchable celebrity power is beginning to fracture. And if even part of these allegations prove true, the impact on the entertainment world, and on those who've long controlled it, could be seismic. Now that you've seen the pieces start to come together, what do you believe? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for part 2, and don't forget to hit the bell. This story is far from over.